future. We're talking real money.
Do we have to do this again? Do we have to do another show?
Yeah, it's here. And
all right.
Just start. Go.
I'm going to start. Darn it. I'm working on it. Hi, everybody. Don McDonald here. Tom Cock over there. What's the name of the show? Come on, say it with me. Talking Real Money. How come I'm hearing something? I'm hearing echo again. I don't like it when I hear
hearing
echoes.
Echo from me.
I am?
No, I'm only hearing you echoing. It's not me echoing this time.
I was hearing
That's
me
good.
echoing. It was weird.
Yes.
Now I'm not.
Now
Okay,
you're
that's
not.
good. Anyway,
Go.
our phone number. Here's the thing about the phone number. Our favorite part of the program is not, trust me, talking to each other. We've been doing that long enough. I mean, way too long. Like an old married couple long. Way long. So, our favorite thing to do is to talk to you, with you, about your money and the things you do with it and the things that we think you should be doing better, and we hope you want to do better now. So that phone number, it's working again, we believe, 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. So just grab that little electronic device. Here's mine in my hand, and then figure out how you make phone calls in it.
What's the deal?
This is the 15 Pro Max.
Oh, that is. Oh, whoa.
I'm not getting into how good the camera is, because it's good. Anyway, give us a call, 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255, to ask us questions like, we love this question. We get this question a lot. Should I pay off my mortgage / line of credit? And it's one of those feel-good questions more than anything else. People like the idea of having the roof over their head free and clear, Tom.
They do, and in retirement it feels even better, because now I'm living here rent / mortgage free. Of course, still got to pay the taxes, which can be considerable.
And the insurance.
And where Don lives, the insurance, which you need to take out another HELOC to pay for.
No kidding.
So it's crazy.
We have the highest homeowners insurance in the nation in Florida.
Yeah, well, you got those hurricanes, right? Got all the rest of that.
They don't hurt us.
Alligators. It's scary.
Yeah. Actually, it's mainly insurance fraud.
There's probably plenty of that.
Uh-huh.
So we do get this question a lot. I've noticed less the last year or so. Now, I don't know if that's a lot of people that refinance their mortgages and are now at 2.5%. Because I hope if you have a mortgage of 2.5%, that makes the answer very simple. Because the answer then should be no. That's cheap money. I mean, why would you pay that off? It makes no sense. Here's the other part.
Well, but it makes psychological sense for some, though. You got to factor that in.
Listen to this number.
Yeah, okay.
Listen to this number. According to the latest number, $30 trillion of home equity. That's how much Americans have. $30 trillion. Now, how hard is it to get at that?
That's 30,000 billions.
I don't know how to put that number on paper.
It's 30,000 billion.
If you're retired and you need money, it's hard to get at.
There you go. Bingo, bango. You nailed it. It's so hard to get at. How do you get it back out of your house?
Well, I mean, you could refinance. Now, who wants to refinance when your loan's at 2.5 and today you're going to pay what?
8.
7.5?
Yeah.
8, whatever, going fast. Number 2, you could do a home equity line of credit or HELOC, correct?
Oh, gosh. What are HELOC rates these days?
Rate, I don't know what those are. I mean, but it's the numbers of people doing that has gone down. You could always do the reverse mortgage.
Oh, can I share one with you? A HELOC rate? I love this. It's from our friends who we love to make fun of at Bank of America.
Oh, of course.
Okay. Here you go. You live in, now get this. Wait a minute. I got to look at this again. This is hysterical. If I live in Washington State, the rate for the first 6 months, which doesn't count, is 7.5% on a HELOC. Then it goes up to a 9.7 variable.
Ow!
Wait. But let's say you live in Florida. This is ridiculous. It goes up to 10.15. Interest. Double-digit interest. Do you want to take money out of your house and pay a double-digit interest rate for it? 855-935-TALK.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
In medicine, a second opinion might save your life. With investing, a second opinion might save your future. The trick is getting one without a high-pressure sales pitch. Well, I'm Don McDonald, and if you've been listening to Talking Real Money, you know that our goal is to help everyone create a brighter future by investing and managing money better. That's why, in addition to helping everyone on our show and podcast, we are also committed to making our 100% fiduciary advisors at Appella available to help everyone make the best financial decisions based on science. So if you're being pitched a financial product or a system, make sure you get a second opinion with no cost, no obligation, and no annoying sales pitch by going to TalkingRealMoney.com or call 800-386-3004. That's 800-386-3004 or TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
During the break, I was reading the deal on the Bank of America home equity line of credit. That rate I quoted you, the Florida rate of 10.15%.
Yeah, 10.1.
Well, that was after all the discounts. The discounts for taking out, you get a discount for taking out a lot of money. That's you get a 1.5.
The more the better, right?
Yeah,
sure.
You get a 1.5% discount for taking out $150,000 on the loan. So, and you get a 0.10% discount for auto payment. No, 0.25 for auto payment. So that makes the real rate almost 12%.
God, you remember?
Does this sound like the 80s?
Giving these things away. Yeah.
Wow.
Or at least 20 years ago.
No. What? We were double digit 20 years ago, were we? I don't think we were.
I'd have to go look at that. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
99.
We've got Kens stacking up.
It turns out I checked on this because of the
About
Barbie
Kens?
movie. Basically, everyone is now known as Ken because everyone is in the movie is Barbie.
They're all
so it's
Kens.
the same sort of thing.
So we're just going to do an all Ken edition. Did we get anything from Mattel for doing this?
I like the way your mind thinks.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
That.
If we're going to have Kens on the show, I think Mattel should kick in some promotional dollars. 855.
I'll get you the Ken outfit to wear at Halloween because you get 5,000 people come to your house.
I'll be old Ken. I'll be Grandpa Ken. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. And Ken number one, please welcome Ken number one to Talking Real Money. Hello, Ken.
Good afternoon. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling,
Ken.
What
you guys do. Appreciate what you do. I love your show.
Thank you.
So I had two questions. One is first related to real estate. So my wife, Barbie, and I have been in our home for... I couldn't resist.
Ken, love it. Love it.
Just
Go for it,
she
dude.
She looked really good in the movie, I got to say. Really good. So
all the Barbies looked really good, but yours particularly well. She did particularly well.
Yeah,
okay, what is your question? You and Barbie are doing what?
So we've been in our home for over 10 years now, and so I understand if you stay in your home for a certain number of years, the capital gains tax, it's waived. But what if we've been in the home for over 10 years and we decide to rent it out, say for 5-6 years? Does that forego that tax benefit?
Yeah.
You can come back after that.
You gotta be careful with that because I believe the capital gains exemption it's $500,000 for a couple.
Yeah.
And you have to have lived
primary residence
in the home for 2 out of the past 5 years, if I remember correctly. Is that right? Mm-hmm. And so if you rent it for 5, then you haven't lived in it for 2 out of 5.
Then you got to come back and live in it for a couple of years. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can only rent it for a certain number of years.
You could. You could. Like, you've lived in it for a while. If you rented it for 3 years, then you would have lived in it for 2 out of 5. And I want to make sure that I'm right on that. Capital gains.
While he's looking that up, what's your next question there, Ken?
Yeah, the next question is regarding a Roth. So I hear a lot about the backdoor Roth. This year, my wife and I will probably be in a category where we're not able to contribute to both of our Roths. We both have Roths. We don't have the traditional IRAs. So I'm not quite clear on the process for the backdoor. Would we need to open up 2 traditional Roth, traditional IRAs, and then we would be able to move that into our existing Roths?
That is exactly right. You would open an individual retirement, a traditional individual retirement account at the same custodian at which you have the Roth IRAs. You would then put the either $6,500 or $7,500 into the traditional Roth, and then immediately move that over to the, I said Roth, $6,500 into the traditional IRA, and immediately move that over to the Roth. And then you've made your backdoor Roth IRA contribution. Again, this is something that's still available. It just blows my mind that they never get rid of it.
Such a sneaky little backdoor.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
it is 2 out of 5, Ken. It's 2 out of 5 years, by the way, on the capital gains thing.
Gotcha. Okay. And so that it can just go into your existing Roth. Both of us can move it into our 2 separate existing Roths. So we don't have to open up separate Roths.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. And we can keep the traditional IRA that we moved the money out of and do it again next year, or would we have to do that process all over?
Bingo.
Yeah, you can keep the same account. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
All right,
Thank you all.
Thank you. Give our best to Barbie.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? I wore they have now a pink referee kit.
Do they?
That
Seriously?
I wore to a game recently, and somebody
not.
came out and went, I did. And they said, is this the Barbie kit? Because it is pink.
You do.
Anyway,
you have a pink referee uniform?
I do. I've only worn it twice. I test my manhood a little bit. So I got to really, when I'm really feeling good about myself, I wear it.
Yeah,
otherwise,
which ain't often. 855-935-TALK is our phone number. And Ken, number 2, you're on. Hey, Ken.
Hello. Hey, guys. I have a question about direct indexing. I'm all for, ETFs, low-cost ETFs, and value and small cap, but I'm about to get a large lump sum of new money from the net proceeds from a home sale, and I've heard about direct indexing and the tax loss harvesting benefit of that, and I do get RSUs from my job and employer, so it's helpful to be able to customize my portfolio and leverage tax loss harvesting to offset some capital gains. Is that the right move? I've always been in low-cost, self-directed brokerage accounts and things like that.
How much money are we talking about?
About 500.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. For me, direct indexing, it's probably got to be closer to the $1 million mark. Remember, with the just garden variety in today's world, exchange traded funds, you can still do tax loss harvesting.
Yeah.
It's a little harder to build a portfolio around a significant holding of something, but you can kind of almost do that. The thing about direct indexing is it eliminates a lot of holdings, right? Because it only holds, it depends on whose direct index it is. 50, 60 companies, which they try to say really kind of replicates the market. I don't want to get too far down
they do
that
modeling.
road. There's a cost
in
to
a
it.
lot of them. Yeah. So you end up with a modeled portfolio.
Yeah.
It's which we found with like Fidelity's zero funds, which is a modeled portfolio, that they vary from their indexes a bit. The other problem I still see with direct indexing now that ETFs have gotten so cheap, I think direct indexing is kind of too late to the game for many smaller investors because the averages, according to Morningstar, are 0.25 to 0.4 to manage a direct indexed accounts, which is more than most ETFs that you would use with the
bingo.
Yeah, so
has that feeling of the tax dog wagging tail.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Tom and Don are talking real money. For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
The Ken and Barbie line, sponsored by Mattel, is open at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. If your name is Ken or Barbie, you have special access to the program for free today. There'll be no cost.
You're going to move you right to the head of the line?
Right to the head of the line. Kens and Barbies.
Wow, okay. Well, good for them.
You can't be, you got to be real. We need identification.
Oh.
We need proof of ID.
I'm trying to remember how many Barbies I knew one Barbie.
My mom.
I don't think it had an IE.
But she was Barbara.
It was just I. Yeah. Anyway, so, okay. I do have some other questions here if you want me to go to one.
Well, you're a co-host if you want.
Okay. I can have that.
Sure.
That privilege
You
now?
go right ahead. Ask away because you'll probably answer it anyway.
Oh, it's one of those kind of
I don't know. It probably is. I just worry about that. Oh, this is a Tom
the moon
question.
From the Earth. Yeah, how far is the moon from the Earth? Anyway, Johnny from Bassett, Virginia. Bassett, Virginia. Are you familiar with Bassett?
It's right next to
wisecrack. I know
Pound, Tennessee.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be there. Johnny says, I'm 72. I want to simplify my portfolio into the 2-fund portfolio. I think that's good, Johnny. Does it matter if I sell existing funds while they are down, or should I wait until they go up?
Oh, no.
Thanks for all you guys do. Very educational.
Oh, shit. Sell while they're down.
Lot,
oh, no, it's so good.
Well, no, but this comes up a lot. Like, I don't want to make a change in my portfolio after the market's gone down. Comes up a lot.
Why? Because you're going back immediately into the market down.
I know, but people have this weird emotional thing. Like, I'll wait till it comes back, then I'll do this.
Okay.
I'll do the right thing.
Okay. Let me just try this on for size. Let's say you have a bushel of apples that you paid $10 for, and I have a bushel of peaches that I paid $10 for. Now, you want my bushel of peaches, and I want your apples, but the price of both went down to $8. Should we wait until they come back to 10 before we make the deal?
Depends what kind of businessman you are. Business person. No, this does come up, though. People have a tendency to get frozen sometimes when the market goes down. But no, Johnny, if you're going to make the change...
Let's not step into Disney films.
Oh, yeah, you knew that was coming next. This is something we see. People do think, I was going to make that change, but I'll wait for the market.
Well, it happens all the time. It happens on either side of it too. It's like, well, absolutely. I'm going to sell, but prices are they're going up. Should I wait until they stop going up?
Did they tell you?
That's the problem. They don't tell you. There is no bell rung. So the answer is you sell when it's time to sell, and you buy when it's time to buy, and you don't. One of our, I guarantee you, a smaller brained creature would just like do the simple stuff, but we have these big old brains, and we tend to do this thing called overthinking.
Yeah, especially when it comes to this. So I would go ahead, make the change. I love the idea of simplifying things. We worked with somebody yesterday that had, I think, 7 annuities.
Oh, well, one, they had annuities.
Well, this was purchased by somebody else in the family. Anyway, had all these, and we cleaned it all up. It's like, just make it one IRA. Boom.
Oh, wait, these were qualified annuities?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh,
like 7 of them.
Gosh. So there were variable annuities inside a qualified retirement plan.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which obviously were sold, and let me guess, the person who bought them works in the education or the healthcare industry. The person who sold them.
No, I don't know that. I don't know that.
I'm betting it's a 403B. I bet it came through a 403B because we know. I mean, I have literally visited schools and hospitals and seen the insurance people with their tables draped in the lunchroom telling the participants that the best thing for them is an annuity, when in fact the best thing for them is that Vanguard fund that they can get, or the Fidelity. 855-935-TALK.
Tom and Don are talking real money. Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
And our goal is to talk with you about real money at 855-935-TALK. 855-935-8255. And we were kidding. You can have a name other than Ken or Barbie. Anyone can call. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry.
Barbara, Kenneth.
Tom.
Either of those.
Okay.
Tom?
We'll expand our horizons. 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. And we also record calls because sometimes people call when we're not on the radio talking. And so they leave their questions this way.
Hello, gentlemen. I very much appreciate your show. My question has to do with assessing one's own riskiness of one's portfolio. I tend to have a high risk tolerance just in terms of my prior behavior. I have a high risk capacity because I feel as though I'm on track, my wife and I, to be in a place to have a safe withdrawal rate of around probably between 2 and 3%. I'm in my early 50s now. And so I don't have enormous risk need to take much risk. And some people, reasonable people, would advise to then start to remove risk. But I also have a high risk capacity such that volatility doesn't affect me particularly emotionally, and I think it wouldn't hurt my long-term outcomes. So currently I have my equity portfolio is essentially 100% of my retirement savings is in actually AVGE, which I have come to appreciate, and but I haven't introduced any fixed income. And so I think it's an interesting question as to why to introduce fixed income, or how to think about that problem when, as I said, I have high risk tolerance, not a lot of need, but a high risk capacity. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate how you tackle this with your clients.
That's a great question. By the way, I have a high pain tolerance, having worked with Don for many years. So we have something.
He's still here, which shocks the heck out of me.
It does. So, okay. So back to this. This is a really great question. And this is really at the crux of the matter for most investors. How much in stocks and how much in bonds? For most people, that's the biggest decision you're going to make. That's going to mostly have the biggest impact on your returns as well, right? You may think it's because you picked some great stocks, et cetera. Yeah, really the asset allocation is going to be the major decider. So for you, if I was in my early 50s and I said I have a high risk tolerance and I'm not going to use the money for at least a decade, this is the thing. If once you start pulling even the 2 to 3% out of your portfolio, you want a little stability there because there are going to be years like
you don't want to draw from the things that are going way down.
2008, 2001, I can go on and on. So you really want to have something there that's sort of the bedrock, if you will, the solid part. And that's why you would, in your case, want to own bonds. Part two, for me, frankly, is, and this is something we do spend time with our clients and anybody we talk to. I always ask people, why are you taking risk if you don't need to?
Right. But he said, I have a high tolerance. I know I don't need to. But you're right. That really comes down to, are you trying to win the money race?
You're not going to do that, by the way. Elon Musk is going to beat you. Jeff Bezos is going to beat you. These guys have a lot of money.
If you are not, it's not a game. Investing is a very serious activity. And so if you're just playing it as a game, let's see how much money I can rack up. Well, you might want to think about why you're doing that.
I think that's exactly right. Get some work around that. But that brings us then to this topic it hasn't been very pleasant the last year and a half or so, and that is the aforementioned bonds.
Yeah,
right?
Owning bonds has been miserable.
Portfolio,
yeah,
it's not good. It's the aggregate bond index is down again this year. The Bloomberg index says they've never delivered negative returns for 2 consecutive years. Never, ever. So if it does it again this year, then we're going to be, and I just looked at the dimensional intermediate term government bond fund. It's down 2.0% year to date.
So we'd have to have a big bond rally before the end of the year.
Yeah, but why? Let's talk about why the prices of those bonds are down.
This answer is so
easy. Solution.
It's just easy.
Yeah, but people still get confused.
Interest rates have risen dramatically. Remember earlier in the hour, I mentioned the home equity line of credit at a true 12% rate.
Ugh.
That's why bond prices are going down, because remember, bonds that mature at some date in the future with a stated interest rate. Their coupon is X. That's all it's going to be for the whole life of the bond. Well, now those bonds are competing with higher yielding bonds. So to make that yield competitive, you have to reduce the price so that people get a kicker at the end. They get a capital gain in the added value of the bond.
Yeah, and since June 30th, I think that's just July, August, and September, the yield on the 10-year has gone from 3.8 to over 4.6.
Yeah, we're starting to see the yield curve flatten now.
Yeah.
So the longer rates are going up even more. The short rates really aren't. 855-935-TALK is our number. Please call.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Do you suffer from hodgepodgeitis? I'm Don McDonald, and hodgepodgeitis is a disease of your investment portfolio whose symptoms include lots of stocks, loads of random loaded mutual funds, and maybe an annuity or two. Most who suffer from hodgepodgeitis dread opening their quarterly portfolio statements. They feel lost and confused. Investing seems overwhelming and the financial future uncertain. If you believe you suffer from hodgepodgeitis, see a 100% fiduciary investment advisor immediately. A proper diagnosis is the first step to creating a portfolio with a purpose based on a personal plan. Start on the road to recovery now by scheduling a free meeting with an Appella advisor at TalkingRealMoney.com. There is no cost, obligation, or high-pressure sales pitch. Take the first step at TalkingRealMoney.com or call 800-386-3004. Hodgepodgeitis is not a real disease, but treating it has been shown to improve mood, reduce fear, and even lead to a brighter financial future. Results may vary.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
And again, our phone number is 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. One more thing on the bonds, though, or a couple little things on the bonds. The only way, people say, well, I don't want to get into bonds because they're going down. Well, they've gone down because interest rates have risen, okay, past tense. The only way they will continue to go down in value, we're talking about high quality corporates or governments, the only way they're going to continue to go down in value is if rates continue to rise. If rates are done rising, then capital losses in your bond portfolio are likely to end, and you'll just enjoy the income stream from the bond funds.
The yields, which are now much higher than they were, just fascinating. BND, the Vanguard total bond at 4.9. And here's one more thing on the bond deal, because this is, you always, when markets are volatile, what do you always hear? Oh, the smart people, the managers, the people who are looking at this every day, they'll figure out a way to make money.
Yeah, they can move with
they know the market.
They can make the moves. Yeah,
Not with you dumb people in index funds that just sort of sit there and watch the market go down and sit there and make it go up. Well, again, according to the Wall Street Journal, of 85 actively managed core U.S. bond mutual funds, only 6 have generated a positive return this year. So the smart money hasn't done any better than you, so don't feel bad.
It's hard to make money in bonds outside of the interest rates falling. It's just really hard to manipulate the bond markets or trade the bond markets. It's hard. 855-935-TALK. We would love to talk with you. And Mary, it's your turn. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Well, thank you for taking my call. My question has to do with my husband and I each have a $10,000 I bond, and we were wondering if it would be better if we cash that in and went with a CD that's paying 5.4%.
All right, here's the reason. See, a lot of people got into I bonds for the wrong reason.
9.62.
I tried to make the point at the time that that these I bonds were a great hedge against inflation, and they had a high rate. Now, there was a recent article, I think, in the Wall Street Journal talking about how inflation is one of the biggest destroyers of portfolios. And I believe that everybody should have inflation hedges of some kind. We used to use TIPS, the Treasury Inflation Protected Securities. These I bonds are actually a little nicer than TIPS. But they're not yielding as much as CDs right now. But you can't play this timing game. If we get back into a high inflation environment, and I don't know that we won't, then your I bonds could go back up to 9%, while bonds just sit around 4 or 5 or whatever they're paying.
CDs.
Or CDs.
She said
CDs.
moving to CDs.
So, no. You shouldn't move if you got into them for the right reason, because we don't believe in trying to time the market and chasing yields or returns.
Okay. Thank you. That makes sense.
You're very welcome. Thank you. I bonds should be just a tiny.
Everywhere. Look, I get 5 there now, so I'm going to run from this to that because it's making me 5.
I bonds are an inflation hedge that should just be a tiny part of your portfolio. It's not a big deal. It's a little bit that will help in times of inflation. It'll make your it'll help offset some of the things you're going to lose in your bond portfolio to inflation.
Good point. Yeah.
Which is just purchasing power. That's an actual loss. Purchasing power is a loss. Thank you so much for calling. 855-935-TALK is our number. And Barb is waiting.
No, I thought we had Michael.
No, Michael dropped. Barb is here.
Oh, Barb.
We had 2 Kens and a Barb. Hey, Barb, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Well, thank you very much. I've always listened to you, but I've never called before. So,
thank you. Well, it is Barbie Day, so thank you.
That's why I called. That's one of those. Anyway, okay. My question is, I'm going to be turning 72. I know that there are the required minimum distributions that start. My birthday's in November. Does that? Do I have to start thinking about that now, or is it not until I'm 73?
73.
73. So this time next year, I would start worrying about that.
Yep.
Okay. And what else do you need to set that up so it comes directly out of an account, so that I don't end up, paying taxes on it? I have to give it to 501c3.
Oh, you're talking about doing
a QCD.
A QCD, a qualified charitable distribution.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not hard. And where's the money?
Okay.
I mean,
where's the money being held?
Custodian. Yeah, right.
You guys have it.
We have it, Tom. We do that all the time.
I'm gonna run down the hall to check to make sure it's still there. So I'll be right back. Is it Barb or Barbara? Because there's a lot of Barbs on the list. Okay. I'll be right back.
Is it in the box? No, Tom, it's in the box under your desk. Yes, we do these all the time. We do qualified charitable distributions all the time. And as a matter of fact, your advisor should like pretty much even automatically say, "Hey, you're 73. What do you want to do?"
We do them to the Merriman Foundation. We do them to the McDonald Foundation, the Koch Foundation, the last 2 we made up, but we don't. No, I'm kidding. It's got to be a qualified plan. Yeah, it's got to go
people I know.
Real.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a pain.
Right.
Honestly, there are days when I just don't pay any attention to him, and this is one of them. So, just talk to your advisor. They will set up your QCD. You'll give money to charity. You'll be legal with the IRS, and you won't pay any taxes.
Okay. And is that smart to just set it up
Yes.
QCD, or
if you're charitably inclined.
If you're charitably inclined and you don't need the money,
yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
I think it's
the only way, by the way, to give money.
By the way,
the only way to give money to people if you have that.
I think it is an incredibly powerful tool that has been that's been given to retirees to really do some incredible good for the world and it not hurt. I mean, it's painless.
Paul Merriman just gave $3.5 million to Western Washington. I think it's all qualified money.
How did he make that much money?
Apparently, you and I helped him along the way. He said he gave us some credit for that.
Thanks. Can he give us some of the money?
Credit.
All right.
We'd rather have that than
Barb.
the credit.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and they'll take care of you. I promise. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is a great. Okay, but let's just to finish the thought. Thank you, Barb. The QCD is money that comes out of your qualified accounts, IRAs, right, and goes to a charity.
IRAs, 403Bs,
then
401Ks.
instead of you paying tax on that, it goes directly to the charity, and now you don't have to pay tax on what would be a distribution you're required to make.
And think about it. The charity gets everything. that
and they don't care about the tax.
They get the money.
Pay it.
They get the money
Yep.
and the taxes you would have paid. So it's not like taking it out. See, if you just took it out and paid the taxes and then gave it to the charity's going to get a whole lot less money.
Absolutely.
This is a no-brainer for people who don't need that money coming out of their IRAs and we're planning to give it to charity anyway. What a wonderful thing to do for everybody involved. 855-935-TALK is our number. Don't go away.
Tom and Don are talking real money. For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
I want to clear something up before we move on. Tom does not keep the money down the hall. He's joking. Okay?
Oh.
So if you call,
it's an idea, though.
If you talk with you're at no risk if you chat with an Appella advisor. You're just at no risk whatsoever if you take advantage of our ongoing offer to spend some time with somebody like Tom or one of our other advisors for free for nothing.
And you get a look at your plan. You get a look at your portfolio. Get some help that you really can take advantage of. TalkingRealMoney.com. Meet an advisor.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for informational, educational, and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future, so past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Appella Capital, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.